How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the jobless numbers that have just come out for the month of April. You have over 20 million people unemployed, and that's just those that are able to file for unemployment insurance. Okay, that's just them. That's not counting those that work 1099 under the table. You know, people that do Uber, Lyft. You might be a freelance photographer, graphic designer, landscaper, plumber, whatever it is. You might do that freelance, not work for an actual company, just get paid by the person to do the job. Okay, and it's also not counting those that have less hours, because let's be clear, when you're talking about hourly jobs, every hour matters. You know, back in the day, I used to work for Old Country Buffet. I used to wash dishes. This was like when I was in high school, college. I'm like 17, 18, 19, making at the max $8 an hour. So if my hours got cut from 37.5 to 33, I'm upset, because that's, about 5 hours that I'm not getting. And that adds up a lot when you're dealing with a small amount of money. And if you're dealing with a larger amount of money, that definitely makes a big difference. If you go from making 40 hours a week to 15 hours a week and you're getting paid $30 an hour, that adds up. That definitely adds up. So, people making less hours, they're underemployed. Maybe they had two jobs. Now they're down to one, and the one job cut them from 40 to 20, or from 40 to 10 or 5, or you might work 2-3 days a week. I went to a restaurant, and shout out to all the restaurants out here for opening. You guys are great. Had date night, whatever, for the first time in a minute. And then the waiter was like, hey, I'm glad we're open. I was on a 2 days a week. How are you going to be able to live like that? How are you going to be able to eat like that? Okay. So when you're looking at the 20 million number, understanding it's worse than that. That's just giving you the raw data upon which we can, understand what's happening from there. And that's not even including those that were unemployed before this. So that's not a total unemployment number. It's higher. Probably like 25, 30 million people that are just not able to work at all that have filed for unemployment. So this is a really serious problem. And if this whole lockdown kerfuffle continues, it's going to get worse. The thing that I keep seeing from people is, if you want to go back to work, if you want to open your restaurant, if you want to open your tattoo parlor, your massage parlor, your beauty salon, that means you're selfish. It was a lady that got locked up over that. The judge was trying to embarrass her, talking about, if you say you're sorry and say you were selfish, you won't go to jail for opening your salon. And she's like, nope, I'm not going to be able to do it because look, I am not being selfish. I am trying to feed my kids. Okay. I'm trying to take care of my family. This is not being selfish. It's not about me. It's about my family, because what are my kids going to do? They can't, what are they going to do? Get unemployment? I got to be able to work. And do you get unemployment if you are a small business owner? Is that how that works? You might get some of the financial relief if you're able to actually, qualify for it and finagle the bank to be able to get it. A lot of companies have applied for it and not gotten it. So what do? You're not able to get the relief money. You're not able to open your store. You're not able to get unemployment. Meanwhile, your kids got to eat. You still got to have somewhere to live at. They got the mortgage forbearance, but that's just delaying your payments until a later date. Okay, that's actually due pretty soon. They're not even rolling it to the back of your loan. It's due this year. So if you couldn't pay the mortgage in March and you've not been working since then, and you don't get opened up until June, so you got March, April, May, June, at least 3 to 4 months of not working. How are you going to be able to pay your mortgage right now and the back mortgage? It doesn't make any sense. I think also going to compound interest on you. This whole thing is ridiculous. It's not very well thought out. It comes from some of these quote unquote experts like Fauci and Birx. I'm not going to say that Fauci is a quack or a stooge or anything like that. He may be an expert in his field, infectious disease, pandemics and whatnot, but he is not an expert on how to run the country. He's not an expert on the externalities of shutting down the country. And what I mean by that is things that happen as a result, things that you may not intend to happen, but do happen as a result. People getting locked in their houses for 2-3 months at a time. You're going to have all kinds of issues that come as a result. This is not from me specifically. This is from other doctors that look into, psychology. Dr. Birx, Fauci, are they psychiatrists? Are they psychologists? I think they're just disease experts, they're not actually getting into the behavioral sciences, but I digress. The point is that other doctors, other physicians, other experts have said that when you don't have work, when you lock people inside their homes, you're going to have a bunch of other results that happen. You're going to have a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, a lot of abuse, child abuse, spousal abuse. Marriages are going to be kind of rocky because of your finances, because of being in close quarters and not being able to get out. There's a lot of other things happen as a result. Okay, what we should be doing is what the Swedes have done, which is the herd immunity. Okay, matter of fact, the WHO itself said that Sweden is probably the model going forward. So YouTube can't ban me for saying that, because they said that if the WHO says it, then it's all good, right? If they go against what the WHO says, then we might ban the video. So I said what they said. So that should be something that's allowed, YouTube, Susan Wojcicki, but I move on. Anyway, they've said that Sweden is the way to go forward. They did not do any kind of lockdown. They did moderate social distancing. They did things that were just kind of common sense. They gave the public information about how to protect themselves during the virus, and then they let them protect themselves. That's what should happen here. If you want to give me guidelines, which is what the federal government did, and say, all right, you can follow them if you want to, then that's fine. What the states are doing is way too much. Okay, it's been proven that heat and the sunlight, UV rays, help to kill the virus. There have been studies done about this. This is not some kind of quackery. It comes straight from the government. The same government that says social distance and whatnot. The same government that gives you the guidelines upon which to fight the virus also say that sunlight can help kill it. So if you're inside and not getting the sunlight on you, what are you doing? Okay, they're putting UV lamps on the subway system in New York to help kill the virus, and they need more than that. Really, they need some Fabuloso, some bleach and everything else, because you got the homeless doo-doo and whatnot in the cars, but that's a different story, and I digress. My whole point is that UV light, heat does help kill the virus. So locking ourselves inside when it's about to be summertime and it's already 85 degrees in certain parts of the country, what are we really doing? It doesn't make any sense. All we're doing right now is killing our economy, and a lot of these businesses are not going to be able to come back. They're going to be done permanently. The airline industry, some of these airlines might go under totally. They might file bankruptcy, and then it's going to be over. Okay, there may be a resurgence in the economy after this, but the longer we keep going down this road, the harder it's going to be. The harder it's going to be to just come back from the ashes. You keep burning the house down, and the fire keeps raging. You're not putting the water out. You're not trying to do anything to prevent the fire from burning again or spreading to other structures. The harder it will be to rebuild your town. And in this case, it's going to be the economy. So at the end of the day, as I close, 20 million people officially unemployed in 1 month will continue into this month and into the next month if we don't do something to fix what's happening. Okay, people are saying, "Oh, Americans, this is a facade. You guys don't have any money. You're poor. You're broke." How are you going to be able to survive economically when you're forced to not work for 2 to 3 months? Because it's one thing to have savings, but your business is struggling. Let's say you're a small business owner, right? You may have savings for yourself to be able to eat and just survive in the world, have a roof over your head for, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. But at a certain point, your business is not going to be able to survive. Are you going to put your personal savings into your business? And a lot of these businesses are still not really above the red, let alone the black, let alone the green. They're trying to, make this whole thing work. But when you're not able to bring any revenue for months at a time, and then after this, tourism is going to struggle. The shutdown is one thing that's preventing people from coming to these places at all. Then afterwards, people are going to be afraid to come. So you're talking about months, if not years, of this whole thing going on. So this has got to stop. The longer it goes on, the harder it will be. Shout out to everybody that has been supportive of this movement to open. And thank you to all the states that have opened at least a little bit. You should open all the way, because all you're doing right now is delaying the inevitable. People are going to get the virus. It's just a matter of time. You are slowing the spread and flattening the curve. All you're doing is making the disease go longer. Once everybody has it, and everybody has it. Once you delay it and let everybody get it, just in a more staggered fashion, you just delaying the inevitable and you're prolonging the shutdown in the nation, which is going to prolong the suffering that we have as a nation, economically and health wise as well. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think we should open up the country because this 20 million number is going to balloon? 20 million in April, it could be 20 million in May, 20 million in June. And for what? The virus is still going to be the virus. People talking about, oh, you're being selfish. Selfish how? If you come out of your house now in May versus in June, what is it going to change? The virus is still going to be there the exact same way it was before you went in. It's not like being inside will make the virus go away. That's not how viruses work at all. Okay? Because if that were the case, then we could just stay home and not have the common cold anymore or the flu anymore and prevent deaths and complications from that. But that's not how it works. The only reason why we were going to stay in is to slow the spread and flatten the curve to not overwhelm hospitals. Hospitals are shutting down. They're filing bankruptcy. People are getting fired. 30,000 healthcare workers in Virginia got laid off during this whole pandemic. So what are we doing? All we're doing right now is ruining our economy that might not be able to recover from this whole situation. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.